My preference isn't to date a woman with children.
First of all, what did you say? And say it like you said it
say
then.
it like I
Don't
said it.
clean it up
Don't
right
clean it
now.
up.
Yeah, no.
My preference isn't to date a woman with children. I prefer to date a woman without a child. I prefer to not have a ready-made household. I prefer to make my own. I prefer to give you the scars versus the scars already being there. I prefer to raise my own seed. I prefer to look at my bloodline and my legacy. That's just what I prefer. Just like you have all these preferences also. So, that's just what it is. It's not saying that I won't, but that's just my preference, and my delivery wasn't the best on the show. But I think also it's going to resonate with men and women, younger men and women, because if you have a child, it is what it is. It's like I've made a lot of mistakes. I've taken a lot of ills, a lot of things that people will say on a pod that they wouldn't do that I have done.
Mm-hmm.
It's too late. I've done it.
Yeah.
But for somebody who hasn't done it, they're going to take that as a lesson. So I'm hoping that even more so a woman, a younger girl, takes that and says, "Wow, my SMV would go down. My sexual market value would go down if I was to have a child and I was to get out here into the world. I am realistically considered to be like less valuable as far as a man pursuing you, right? So that's what it is, just realistically. Like women and men both will say in the private room, in the barbershops or in the hair salons, that I'd rather not date a man with a child, right? And the man was saying in the barbershop, like, I'd rather not date a woman with a kid. But, I was just happened to be on Oprah's television and I said it, and a lot of people came for me. But it is what it is.
So, do you still feel that way?
100%. 100%. I have anecdotal experiences from friends and my own, right? I've been in love maybe 3 or 4 times, I would say. Yeah, 3 or 4 times.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
How many relationships have you been in?
3, 4.
Oh.
Yeah, 3, 4.
You were in love in all of them?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was in love in all of them. And 3 of them had children. Three of them. And 2 of them, when me and the person broke up, I had to lose her and him. So I've experienced that. So I'm not just talking. I experienced the love of a woman playing with me with a child that's not even my own. So there's women out here that do shitty things to men who with their child and they toy with them and make them
they like weaponize
the child, right? Yeah. And that's their own kid. I was getting weaponized with a step kid, and I felt a certain type of way, and I was just like, damn. So I just don't want to experience that again. That's all.
So you don't have children?
Nobody's called me yet. No, I don't have any kids.
Do you want children?
I do. I want to have like I said, I want to have my own legacy. I want to have my own child. I want to have.
And how young are you, if you
34.
don't mind sharing? Oh, you're still a baby.
Yeah.
So when do you plan on starting anytime soon? Or because on the flip side, I feel like I actually just heard 2 women the other night say, this man doesn't have kids. I think he might have been like 40, maybe he was 41. And the ladies, and this was the lady, one of them was looking into dating this guy that was 40 something. And she said, he doesn't have kids, girl. And the other girl was like, that's kind of a red flag.
Makes sense.
How?
I can see both sides. I would say it could be a red flag because maybe this person, if you were to put it in negative terms, I would say for me, actually, no, I'm not going to speak on why it would be a red flag, but for me, the reason why I don't have any kids was one, because I was really cautious and aware of what a child would do to my financial situation.
I feel like that's very mindful.
Yeah, so that was for me. But then 2, it was also trying to make sure that I had my stuff in alignment. So maybe this person is like, they're like, it's a red flag. Maybe he doesn't have his shit together. Maybe they're thinking about it like that. It's like, oh, he doesn't have a kid, so he hasn't got it to a point where he feels like he's at a position where he can have a kid, right? So that was for me the reasoning why I was like, you know what? I need to figure some things out. I don't want to have any children until one, I'm married, right? Because yeah, man, it's like even the thought process of how the generation looks at children versus marriage. We don't say that we say we're too young to get married, but we never say we're too young to have kids. It's like you'll see a 21-year-old girl talking about having a baby, but she'll say, "I'm too young for marriage," though.
Yo, that is so real.
It's the media. It's like women are running around trying to be more whackable than whackable.
Oh.
So it's what we hear down our timeline, everything, the influence, the narrative that's painting on social media from who we idolize, from you know, I ain't gonna say no names, but it's two women that
Yep.
are super going viral, and that's the generation.
Oh, I'm sick of them.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of them. And bless their hearts, no judgment, but I hate when a little girl says that that's who they're looking up to.
Mhm.
Why? Like you're literally, and they glamorize what is destroying us.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the worst part.
Yeah.
If it weren't glamorized, if it was looked down upon, then no little girl would be saying, "Oh, I want to be, whatever when I grow up." Like why? It's pretty crazy. More whoppable than wifeable.